Are you looking to transform your mindset and see the world from a better perspective but don't know where to start? Do you often find yourself stressed, angry, or anxious? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then this summary is for you. In this audiobook summary of Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen, you'll discover the keys to ending emotional suffering and unblocking true happiness. By the end of this summary, you will have learned practical tips and insights that will guide you towards a more peaceful and fulfilled life. Imagine understanding your mind so deeply that you can navigate life's challenges with ease. Enjoy. This summary will show you how to stop overthinking, break free from negative thought patterns, and find the happiness that already resides within you. Stay tuned till the end as we unveil the secrets to mastering your thoughts and emotions, ultimately leading you to a state of true peace and contentment. Let's dive in and start this transformative journey together. The journey to finding the root cause of suffering can be of two types: physical and emotional. While physical problems are often unavoidable and beyond our control, what if I told you that emotional suffering can be prevented? What if you could live a life immune to emotional pain caused by external events? Would you believe it? When you find yourself in a difficult situation, you face two types of challenges: the physical and the emotional. The Buddha once mentioned that the first arrow, the physical problem, is beyond our control. However, the second arrow, the emotional response, entirely depends on how we react to the first. It's entirely up to you to either feel the pain brought by it or to transcend it. Emotional suffering arises from how you react to the world around you. It begins when you dwell on a negative situation long after it has passed, magnifying its impact in your mind. Every day bad things happen to everyone. While some experience slight discomfort, others may feel profound sadness or depression. The difference between feeling good after such events and remaining unhappy depends on how you handle them. Buddha raised a point: if there is a way to avoid feeling pain, then why are so many people unhappy? Joseph, the author, did not understand this initially. It took Joseph reliving many of his life's experiences to comprehend how to avoid pain. Over the years, Joseph sought answers through workshops, spiritual seminars, yoga, and meditation, changing his detrimental habits along the way. Despite all his efforts, Joseph still felt incomplete. His concerns and troubles persisted. At the end of his journey of self-improvement, his level of worry worsened. Filled with despair and on the brink of giving up, Joseph encountered someone who changed his life and perspective, providing him with the direction where answers to his questions lay. This person was Joseph's spiritual guru and coach, who revealed that the cause of everyone's suffering is their mind. People with unhealthy mindsets tend to suffer more than others. Your mind can either be your greatest enemy or your best friend. How you deal with situations and emotions depends on your habits and mindset. Once you understand how the mind works, you'll also learn how to use it to achieve happiness, thus freeing yourself from emotional pain forever. The root cause of all suffering. Thoughts have the power to shape our reality and alter our mood and experience. Yes, while most people believe they are masters of their thoughts, the reality is often the reverse. Our thoughts shape who we are. People who harbor negative thoughts lead distressing lives, frequently filled with anger, fear, and anxiety. They tend to perceive everyone around them as adversaries and often find themselves trapped in unfavorable situations, making poor decisions as a result. On the other hand, those with positive thoughts attract joy into their lives. They lead contented lives, and it seems as if everything aligns with their desires. Despite occasional minor setbacks, they generally feel grateful for their life and all that they receive. Two individuals can experience life similarly yet feel very differently about it. For instance, one might feel grateful for having a home, while another might feel satisfied and upset because their home is not as large as they desired. It all depends on one's thoughts. Our situations and experiences might be nearly identical, but the difference in our experiences stems from our perspectives. Reality is the same for everyone, but our views on it can vary widely. Consider a young Zen monk who struggled with focusing during meditation. Every attempt to meditate was disrupted by external disturbances, whether it was a passing cat or loud noises. Despite seeking tranquility by moving his meditation spot to various quiet locations, he still faced distractions. Eventually he realized that the disturbances weren't disrupting his focus, rather his reactions to these disturbances were the true cause. This realization highlights that our suffering does not arise from what happened to us but from how we think about these events. Our thoughts control our emotions. Negative thoughts make us feel bad and positive thoughts make us feel good. You cannot blame external events for your suffering. Life inherently comes with ups and downs. It is ultimately us who complicate things for ourselves. Have you ever considered what life would be like without these negative thoughts? Without them, you would likely lead a much better and more peaceful life, able to transform any situation. No situation inherently causes suffering. It is our thinking about the situation that is the root of our suffering. Why do we even think our minds generate thousands of thoughts daily with an average of 6,000 thoughts responding to the world around us. Most of these are negative not because we enjoy negativity but because it historically helped in survival. This tendency is known as the negativity bias, where the mind focuses on potential dangers, enhancing our fight or flight response, crucial for our ancestors' survival in the modern world. However, this negativity bias is less useful. We no longer live in environments where constant vigilance is necessary for survival, yet our minds continue to focus on the negative, which can hinder our path to happiness. It's time to let go of these negative thoughts and give your mind a rest. Let other aspects of your being help in achieving happiness. This is where your consciousness comes into play. Consciousness allows you to feel complete and better. It helps you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, enabling you to view the world from a better perspective. Excessive thinking leads to worry and despair, pulling you into a defensive mode. Live each moment and take a break from everything. Use your consciousness to free yourself from negative thinking and start seeing things not as they should be but as they could be. By using only your consciousness to view the world, you'll realize the immense potential it holds. Thoughts versus thinking. Where do thoughts come from? Many would answer, from me. My thoughts come from me. However, this isn't necessarily true. Our thoughts are creations of the universe, innate to us from birth and not requiring any particular force or energy to form. Every day countless thoughts arise in people's minds without their control. Now let's delve deeper and understand what thinking means. Thinking involves actively engaging with these thoughts. It's an interactive process where you have a choice. You can block a thought or engage with it. Still confused about the difference between a thought and thinking? Let's clarify it with an example. If I ask how much money you want to earn each year, the first amount that pops into your mind is a thought. It arrives without effort. Now if you multiply this dream amount by 10 and ponder on how it feels and how you could achieve it, that's thinking. You're engaging with the thought, considering its implications and possibilities. Most people don't have a problem with the thoughts that spontaneously occur to them. They're neutral until engaged. The problem starts when you begin to think about them, integrating these thoughts with emotions. For instance, thinking about money makes some people anxious while it brings joy to others. Your thoughts shape your feelings about a situation. Thoughts and thinking are related yet distinctly different topics. Stop blaming your emotions on your thoughts and start focusing on your thinking. You can't control every thought that comes to mind, but you can choose how to engage with them. Focus on positive thoughts and let go of the negative ones. Remember, you can't feel bad about something if you don't think about it. By managing your thinking, you open the door to controlling your emotional responses and shaping a more positive outlook on life. If we can only feel what we're thinking, don't we need to think positively to feel that way? In the previous chapter we explored the direct link between our thinking and our feelings. We feel what we think. However, the concept doesn't end there. This chapter dives deeper into how our thinking impacts our emotions and what we can do to manage it. Negative emotions often arise when we overthink about something. Sometimes this thinking is for our safety, like feeling fear when walking alone at night. Other times it leads to stress and anxiety. You only feel bad when you think about something negative. As you feel as you think. Many people believe that avoiding negative thinking and focusing solely on positive thoughts will make everything better. They think that the more positive thoughts they have, the happier they will be. However, this isn't entirely true. The key to feeling good isn't just having positive thoughts. It's about not thinking excessively at all. Skeptical. Let's test this with a small experiment. Think about the happiest days of your life. Try to recall what thoughts were going through your mind at that time. Most people will say they can't remember any specific thoughts from those moments. Why is that? It's because there were likely very few thoughts going through their minds at all. They were simply living in the moment, not thinking about anything in particular. Yes, some people might remember feeling happy, but that's because they are grateful for experiencing a good life. The question then becomes, did these happy thoughts precede their happiness, or did they come because they were already happy? It turns out these thoughts only appeared because they were already feeling joyful. This experiment teaches us an important lesson. When we stop thinking excessively, we naturally feel happy. Our misery isn't rooted in our minds or even a negative mindset, but in our overthinking. When we cease to overthink, we begin to truly live. Free your mind from the stressful process of trying to change things and start accepting them as they are. We are naturally happy beings. We only feel bad when we try to control reality and obsess over things not being the way we want. Stop thinking and start living. The less you think about everything, the happier you will be. If thinking is the root cause of our suffering, how do we stop thinking? Once an impatient samurai approached a Zen master meditating, seeking to understand the nature of heaven and hell. Interrupting his meditation, the Zen master responded, "Why should I answer someone like you? Look filthy and ugly. Leave me alone." Infuriated by the insult, the samurai drew his sword ready to strike the master, but the Zen master, unfazed, looked into his eyes and said, "This is hell." The samurai, startled by this revelation, calmed down and realized what had happened. The anger that had consumed him, leading to thoughts of violence dissipated, and he felt ashamed of his actions. He knelt and bowed to the Zen master, thanking him for the profound lesson. The master then said, "And this is heaven." This story illustrates how our emotions are influenced by our thoughts and actions. When we feel threatened, we immediately switch to survival mode, often reacting aggressively to those around us. This is how our minds work. Most people believe that to stop thinking they must entirely block thoughts from arising, but this is impossible. Controlling your thoughts is like trying to stop breathing. You simply can't do it. You must stop yourself from engaging with the thoughts, not prevent them from arising. Thoughts cannot be controlled in terms of when or where they come. However, you can choose to stop interacting with them. This doesn't mean you should entirely stop thinking. The mind is designed to think, and it is natural for it to do so. What you can do is minimize the time you spend engaged in thinking. The first step in this process is awareness. You must be aware of when you are overthinking. A common sign of overthinking is feeling stressed and uncomfortable, emotions that typically arise when you dwell too long on a situation. When you find yourself overthinking, step back immediately. Take a deep breath, distance yourself from your thoughts, and allow your mind to relax. Let's consider an example. Imagine you have a bowl of dirty water. What would you do to clean it? Would you boil it, filter it, throw it away? Most people would choose to either boil or filter it. But this process is lengthy. A simpler way to clean the dirty water is to let the impurities settle at the bottom. Eventually the water will clear on its own. Apply this lesson to your mind. Many people seek difficult ways to clear their minds, find peace, and achieve happiness, but the answer has always been right in front of them. Negative emotions are created by thinking. When our minds are restless, we start thinking like the bowl of dirty water. You should sit quietly and let your mind relax. The more you fight your thoughts, the stronger your emotions become. Allow your mind to calm down on its own. As it does, you will gradually recognize your thoughts and distance yourself from them. Ultimately, you will achieve a clearer and more peaceful mind when you transition from the thinking process to a state of happiness or non-thinking. Don't stress. Thinking is normal, but spending too much time on it isn't beneficial. Our goal is to live each moment to the fullest, not waste time thinking excessively. Remember, peace already exists within you. Just need to stop thinking and allow yourself to experience it. A calm mind will lead you to a peaceful heart. How can we possibly thrive in the world without thinking? Let's start this chapter with a simple experiment. Think about a time when you were completely immersed in your work, a time when you were so engrossed that you forgot everything around you. Do you remember? Now think about your thoughts during that moment. Did you have any thoughts? Probably not. When this happens, you enter a different state. You become one with the task at hand. This state is known as flow. It occurs when you are deeply engaged in an activity, losing all thoughts and emotions. You become so absorbed in your work that you completely forget where you are and simply do what you need to do. The state of flow is similar to a thoughtless or non-thinking state. When you enter the state of flow, you are in a state of non-thinking. In both states, there is no room for thoughts, worries, or doubts. Your subconscious mind takes over and you can focus entirely on your activity. Athletes are a typical example of people who experience the state of flow when playing a game. Athletes don't analyze everything around them, they just focus on the game. They don't think, they just act. Most people refer to this as being in the zone. When athletes are in the zone, they lose their thoughts and simply do what they have been trained to do. The time spent in training prepares them for the game, and during the game they perform at their best. They don't think about whether what they're doing is right or wrong. They just remember their training and play in the flow. Athletes who overanalyze tend to get distracted from their game. This isn't because they lack skill, but because they don't use their full potential. When athletes think too much, they hesitate in their moves and make mistakes, causing them to lose the game. From this story, we learn that most people progress without overthinking. If you stop worrying about everything, you can achieve much more. A world where you don't overthink is a world where you become your best. So let go of all your worries and fears and just start doing your work. Nothing is either good or bad. Every person has their own opinions. What seems right to some might not be the same for others. You need to understand that not everyone will feel the same way you do. In reality, nothing in this world is inherently good or bad. It all depends on your perspective and the context of the situation. Let's illustrate this with an example. Think of a piano. Notice how it has different keys. Can you say that one key is naturally good or bad? The answer is no, right? We can only say a key is wrong if it doesn't meet our expectations. Imagine a pianist playing a specific song and you know all the correct keys for it. If they hit the wrong key, you can instantly tell because it doesn't match the song. Conversely, when they play the song perfectly, it brings you joy because they didn't make any mistakes. Similarly, in life, there is no inherently wrong decision. We perceive something is wrong only when the situation deviates from our expectations. Our judgments of good or bad stem from the meanings we attach to situations. There are certain things universally accepted as truths known as universal truths. Whenever you start feeling negative emotions, consider whether what you're feeling is truly real. Is the situation genuinely Serious, or are you overthinking it? Is it a universal truth? Most often you'll realize that it's not as bad as it seemed. It was all in your mind. Looking at things from an objective point of view can help you feel better. Once you realize the situation isn't as bad, your negative emotions will disappear instantly. So next time you feel bad, reflect on the world around you. Is it really bad, or are you overthinking it? What happens when you begin living in non-thinking? Potential obstacles. Just like with anything, problems will always try to block your path to peace and happiness. Following the tips in this summary won't make your self-improvement journey easy, but it will give you a good start. At first everything will seem great. You'll make all the right choices and feel good about them compared to what you felt before. You'll experience far fewer negative emotions in your life. The problem is that there will be times when your mind starts creating problems. You'll begin to experience doubts and worries, questioning whether you made the right decisions. This happens because your mind is unfamiliar with the new practice. From the beginning of your life you've been thinking and worrying. Now that you've removed these habits from your mind, you'll feel uncomfortable when there's nothing going on in your mind. It's natural to feel like something is wrong. At this point you need trust the most. You need to trust the process and yourself. Have faith that this will work for you. If it doesn't, take it as a lesson to learn from. The unknown can be frightening. The state of non-thinking is unfamiliar to your mind. However, this is the state where the most experiences and opportunities are created. It's the state where you can grow into a better person. Don't fall back into the bad habits you had before. Your mind seeks familiarity. If you find yourself failing repeatedly, it's okay. Mistakes are part of life. What's important is getting back on track. Being in a state of non-thinking is incredibly beneficial, so don't give up now. Keep trying and keep moving forward. Any obstacle teaches you something valuable for the future. Conclusion. First, you learned about emotional suffering. How you react to a situation determines your emotional suffering. You can choose to be happy or sad. It's entirely up to you. Will find happiness when you understand your mind and how it works. The more you understand it, the happier you will become. Second, you explored the root cause of suffering. Your thoughts are powerful. When you focus solely on negative thoughts, your life becomes as negative as your thoughts. Focusing on positive thoughts helps you feel better about yourself and those around you. Third, you understood why people think. Our minds are designed to help us survive. We have a negativity bias that forces us to think about negative aspects of a situation. However, our consciousness makes us aware of our emotions. Stop overthinking and start using your consciousness. Doing so will help you feel more relaxed and at peace. Fourth, you distinguished between thoughts and thinking. Thoughts come to your mind automatically. You have no control over when and where they appear. Thinking is the process of interacting with your thoughts. Most of your problems start with the thinking process. Fifth, you learned how thinking affects your emotions. Most people believe that thinking positively will make them feel good, but that's not entirely true. You will experience happiness once you stop overthinking. Sixth, you discovered how to stop thinking. Initially, you must be aware of when you are thinking or allowing a thought to arise. When you catch yourself thinking, let the thoughts come. Eventually your mind will tire and decide to become stable. Once this happens, you will feel better and lighter. Seventh, the summary explained how you can progress without thinking. When you stop thinking, you enter a state of flow. This is about being fully engaged in your work, losing all feelings and emotions. People in the flow state work more effectively than others. In the flow state, you stop worrying and start doing. Eighth, the summary emphasized that nothing is inherently good or bad. We assign meaning to the situations we experience. Next time you feel bad, consider whether the situation is genuinely good or bad. This will help remove your negative emotions, and you will realize that things improve when you stop overthinking. Lastly, you learned about the potential problems you might face once you achieve the non-thinking state. The non-thinking state is a new field for your mind. It will make you doubt out your actions even if they are good. Follow the practices mentioned in this summary. The state of non-thinking is the most effective path to peace and happiness. Begins within you. You are the only person capable of ending your suffering. This summary has taught you everything you need to know to become better. Your future is now in your hands. Do you want to continue with your bad habits and suffering, or will you embrace the state of non-thinking and live each moment fully? Happiness is within your reach. You just need to take the step. Take this chance and become the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening to this audiobook summary of Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen. We hope you found valuable insight and practical tips to help you understand your mind better and navigate through life's challenges with ease. Remember, happiness begins within you. By mastering your thoughts and emotions, you can create a life filled with peace and contentment. Don't let negative thinking hold you back. Instead, embrace the power of non-thinking to experience true joy. If you enjoyed this summary, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more audiobook summaries that can help you grow and improve in every aspect of your life. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below and let us know what you found most impactful. Stay tuned for our next summary, and until then, keep striving to become the best version of yourself. Thank you for your support and see you in the next video.